Wednesday, the 25th of March, and thank God for life. Thank God for another opportunity to be back together again to share this really amazing time together for the next hour. So, today we're going to be talking about how couples are coping, being cooped up together with this isolation, this imposed isolation uh, that everyone has to observe. You don't have a choice wherever you are in the world. I believe that most countries now have said definitely everyone has to be self-isolated. So everyone's trying to cope with that now. You're so welcome to the show. It's great to have you today. If you're here, indicate, let me see that you're here. Say hello, wave your hand, say a word, say something. Let me know that you can hear me wherever you're at so that I know you're with us today. Um, Yesterday, we had a most amazing this conversation, and most people have given really, really beautiful feedback. We want to say a big thank you to our guests yesterday who made our show really, really exciting. Pastor Shand and Patrick Fitzgerald, thank you so much for sharing of your wealth of knowledge. Pastors Tosi and Kay Popola, thank you. It was brilliant to have you yesterday. Thank you so much. I really want to appreciate all that you brought to the fore yesterday, sharing your beautiful experience with us. Hello, Ade, Pelu, or Olami. Thank you for joining us. Hello to you too. It's great to see you here. Share the video with your friends, with your family. Let's have this fantastic conversation today. I want you guys to share with me your experience as couples, people who are living together. What is it like for you having to cope with living together? I don't want to use the word forcefully because a lot of people now have been saying, oh, well, we're forced to stay together now. I don't have a choice. We're literally getting to know ourselves and to understand ourselves. So that's the conversation we'll be having today, and I have really fantastic guests. However, before we get into speaking with our guests, I want to share a very beautiful video with you. So this video was sent to me by a friend, and I know that most of you would have seen tons and tons and tons of videos recently, but this is so heartwarming. I just have to share. We're going to kick off with this beautiful video today. So watch and enjoy. It's of this beautiful girl. Some of you probably have seen it. If you haven't, enjoy.
Hi, my name is Aya. I'm 3 years old. I have something to say, so listen up. First, thank you everyone for doing everything you can to help stop COVID-19 from spreading. Thanks to our frontliners who are helping those who are already suffering because of the virus. To those who are helping the ones in need, let's help the world heal and stay home. Don't go out unless you really have to. Wear a mask all the time. See? Always wash our hands. Don't hold alcohol. It's not good. Stay positive. Always smile. And pray because Papa God is with us. Everything will be okay. I love you.
Oh, we love you, Maya. Aya, that is so beautiful. That is so, if that's not heartwarming, I don't know what is. It's so beautiful to see a young child really give us advice. Can you imagine? Aya saying, remember to wash your hands, remember to wear a mask when you go out, remember not to touch your face with your hands, and most importantly, remember to pray. God's got us. God has got us at this really, really challenging time. Thank you, Aya, for your beautiful words. And I hope that really warmed your heart today. For everyone who's been feeling a bit down, I hope that really puts a smile on your face, because it did put a smile on my face. God bless our children. God bless little Aya. So we get into our conversation today. Thank you, Joanna. We can see you. That's so beautiful. Thanks for joining us today. And I have beautiful couples joining me today. Before I bring on any of my guests, I want to bring on my own Bobo. You know, I don't take sugar in my tea, so I wouldn't call him the sugar in my tea, right? And I take a bit of butter in my bread, but really and truly, this is my Superman. Come on, Val. I want to bring on my Val on the show today. Yay! Who is joining me on the show today? My superhero, my Genge brother. His friend, a friend of his will probably join us today. We call them ancestors. So it's really great to have you here, Val, because we're going to be talking about couples and how they're coping with the situation. I'll be bringing on our first guest right now, and they're joining us from here in Ireland. I'm bringing on Gary and Elsa. Hi, Gary, and hi, Elsa. Can you hear me?
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you?
Hello, how
Hi,
are you?
how are
How's
you both
everybody?
keeping?
Very good. Yeah, we're keeping well.
Oh, very good. I'm happy to hear that. So, what's the situation like? First of all, let's start with the situation with you. Give us an update. How long have you both been at home alone together?
Well, I started last Wednesday,
Hmm.
so I'm at 1 week at home. I'm working from home now. So and
One
yeah,
full
that's it.
Yeah.
week.
One
Alsa, what's
week.
that like for you?
It's been okay. Yeah, I was able to access work from the office, so it was good.
Very
It's
good.
good. It's okay.
Alsa,
Yes.
what's that like for you? Having Gary home every single day now.
I am working myself as well. So I've been working from home since Wednesday afternoon. I was still in the office on Wednesday morning, and then I went back on Wednesday afternoon.
Mm.
Well, it's been great, to be honest, for the two of us, because from the very beginning we set a goal that at the end of Corona we should both survive and stay in the
Woo!
marriage. That's the goal from the two of us. So
Now
Yay!
that's the top goal. That's the first key goal. You both must survive.
yes, indeed.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Amen. Very good.
Amen to
Very
that.
good.
Yeah.
So you
I,
both hang in there, and I'm going to introduce our second couple, our guests. I'm bringing them in all the way. They're in Africa, all the way from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. Ancestors, this is Yemi Shodimu. Most of you, if what? Hang on now, hang on now. You see, when you have an ancestor with you on the show, they want to take over. Eh? So I've got Yemi and Tolu Shodimu on the show, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm gonna let people see your faces. I'll put you both on, but I want you to quickly share with us what it's been like. First of all, are you in self-isolation in Lagos? Okay. We'll try and get everybody in. We'll try and get everybody in. Let's see if we can plug everybody in right now. So Gary, I'm bringing you back in. The Shodi
Hello.
Moves, I'm bringing you in. If you can hear me, there we go.
I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay,
Now
very
we can
good.
hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Loud and clear.
We can hear you.
Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Very good. So I'm going to take the Shodi Moves now. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. It's brilliant to see you on the show.
And thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Tell me, are you guys in self-isolation in Lagos, Nigeria?
I will go back to my very first question.
Okay.
How do you cope with these white beards?
I'll tell you what, I
Tell
actually
me.
insisted that he must keep them. You know, I insisted he must keep them.
It's okay. You have my sympathy. It's okay. It's all right.
Your sympathy. There's nothing to sympathize. I want them.
Now let's
And don't be surprised the white is going to spread all over before the end of this isolation. Because I want to do that in solidarity with our women that will not be able to go to the salon as often as they would love to.
Thanks,
I
bro.
want to join them.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to stand with them in all of this.
Thank you. It is well. It is well. Now let's go to your question.
All right.
Okay,
How do
so
you
tell
cope?
me, guys, what is it like for you? First of all, are you in self-isolation in Lagos?
So the absolute isolation, I think, will start tomorrow in Lagos. But for Yemi and I, we've been in so we say like 80% self isolation since yesterday. Yeah, the only thing we've actually ever gone out to do is just to stock up a bit on food stuff. Outside of that, we've been home.
What is it like coping with yourselves being at home? Since you've been
Yes,
home two days now, right?
yes, 2 days
So
now.
you both are not going anywhere. You've stayed home.
No,
We
no.
we've been home now the good part of a week.
Yeah.
Literally a week now. Not going anywhere. Where like we see ourselves every single day. You're not allowed to go outside except you want to go shopping. You get the basics.
And
Essentials
come back.
rather, and
Yes.
you come home. That's it. You come back home. If you're not a frontliner like a healthcare worker, or the 7 people who are still allowed to go to work, if you're not a frontliner, you stay in your house, and that's it. So a lot of people
Absolutely.
are forced to stay together. You know, what's that like for you guys? Seeing yourselves the past 2 days, you've been seeing your faces nonstop.
I'll tell you that the only difference really has been the fact that usually she'll go to work, I'll go to work, and then later on in the evening we meet. But staying together for long hours, long periods, it's almost a normal thing with us. It's a situation that we enjoy, that we love. It takes away the stress, it takes away the hustle and bustle, and I think it's just bliss. It is bliss. So it's not stressful in any form. I think it's probably just part of us. Um, Basically, it's not really that strange. But
And
it reduces the activities. It reduces the activities. If I may add to that, I think it's just been the two of us for like 4 years. About that, because the boys are big. So we're getting used to it. So right now, it's giving us opportunity to spend longer hours together. I like it.
yeah, but you see, I was going to say this. If she won't complain that I'm taking over the show, do you want to agree with me that it is not going to be so with every couple?
Yes.
Oh
And at this
no.
point, I want to bring Gary and I'll start on as well, so we can have those conversations now. Right. Val just said it's not going to be the same with every couple. Everyone will not be as excited to be together at home at this time in self-isolation as you guys feel happy enough to be together in self-isolation. Do you agree with that, Yemi?
Yes, we are.
We
We're
would be
very, very
happy
happy.
to be in self-isolation. Yeah, we
We're
are
really
happy
happy.
to
Seriously,
be
yeah.
together. Yeah.
I'm
I
really
think
glad.
previously when the snow hit Ireland,
Yes.
3.5 years ago, we did feel it there. Now we were 4 or 5 days in the house, and we got a bit of cabin fever. We weren't able to go anywhere,
And
but I think we learned from that, and
Wow.
I respect her space and she respects mine, and
Okay, so you talk about, I'll come to you, Gary, and yourself and Elsa. You
yeah,
talk about respecting space, that you
yeah,
respect her space and she respects your space. What
yeah.
does that mean? What do you both have to do to respect space? Gary and Elsa.
So basically, when it's come to works, we both since we both are working, Gary take one room for his work, and I am taking another room for works, and we basically keeping distance in terms of like for during the whole time of working. So and then we'll meet for lunch, and then after that we just go back to work. So it's just like work. The only bonus is just that we don't commute, and we got to spend lunch together.
So you basically plan to meet for lunch. You work separately and then
In
you
your
plan to
house.
meet for lunch.
Yeah, it is. It literally is separately. It's like
Oh, wow.
you go to
That's a,
the office, but you're not leaving your house.
you
It's
know
like,
what? That you have to be in a different room now, and I have to be in a different.
oh.
Okay, so I take Tolu now. Okay, Tolu, share with us. You were sharing with us there. Can you say that again?
I am working from home. I'm able to actually just as early as 7:30. I'm already on my laptop and I'm working. I'm making calls. I'm sending emails, and I'm doing that till about 4:30. It gives me that time to just be able to concentrate and do my work. But in between, it's nice to be home to make his breakfast. Normally, he would have been grabbing his breakfast himself. We can have breakfast together. We can do things together. We can actually just gist about something, pass a joke without having him having to call me. Normally, maybe he remembers something and he wants to make a joke. Normally, we would have had to make a call and then just for a while, and then I say I have to go back. But this time around, it's just that right there at the corner. He could come back into me and say, "Honey, are you on the call?" And I say, "I remember this," and we can actually just. It's for me. I like it. It's nice. At least I can see him.
With you when it comes around, it doesn't touch, it doesn't do anything. Yeah. Just
I need to
wondering.
hear that. I need to hear that. Did you say that again?
Say that again. Say
I'm
that
just
again.
wondering because I know this guy. I know Yemi very well, and it can be like, naughty sometimes. I just hope that he doesn't
Yemi,
do
there's
more
something
than.
I would really like to talk about is men are a bit restless. Do you understand?
Yes.
They used to going out. Yemi is a very, very active person. So for him, the initial 2 days, getting into the groove of isolation, I feel for him. So sometimes I let him be, let him go out. He's making phone calls to friends, take a walk. I'm 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 a home person. I can stay in my house for 1 year and I wouldn't miss anybody. All I need is a book and a good movie. But he's not like that. So I understand it's a bit more strenuous for him, the isolation, but being together, I knew he's enjoying that. But being restricted, he will get used to that.
You are just like me because I also like to be isolated. I can be in my house all alone by myself for 1 year, just as
Yeah,
long as I have Yemi beside me.
I
That
know.
was how you developed your white beards. Fine. No problem about that.
I just love to have my wife beside me. Unfortunately,
It,
I've not
it
had
is
the
great.
luxury, the
No, really,
luxury of. Sorry?
really, I'm the hyperactive member of the team. I am. That I know. But the reality of the situation says stay indoor. Um, there's a let me use this word. There's a bit of danger out there,
Mm,
unseen, unknown danger, and you want to
mm.
avoid it. And if you have to be isolated, especially with somebody that you whose presence you really appreciate, somebody you have a lot of passion for, you will love it. You will enjoy it. I am enjoying it right now. And the only thing is that it takes away my tennis. I must say that. It takes away my tennis because that's a routine for me. I love to play my tennis. That's how I exercise. But that's out of it for now. It's okay. I'm enjoying my staying indoor.
Dewusi is back online from Abuja. I'm going to connect with them now and get them to also share with us. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Adewusi. Can you hear me? We can see you. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh Lord, I think okay, we can hear you. Yes, we can see you now. Fantastic. How are you both?
We are fine.
Very, very good. You're both in Abuja. Tell us, what is the self-isolation like in Abuja? Oh no, we have delay there. Okay, the network is not the best. We're having a re-echo. It's echoing back. Yeah. Can you absolutely your Facebook is the audio on your Facebook is really loud, so it's difficult to okay, I will let them adjust that. And I'm going to come to Gary and Elsa. I'm going to come to Gary and Elsa and tell me, guys, have you encountered people? Do you have friends who are struggling with staying together as well, not staying together? They have to stay together, they don't have a choice. But do you know of people who are struggling to be in isolation together right now? Couples. Do you know anybody?
No, no, not that I am aware. Oh, not that we are aware of. I think all of our friends are doing well in the house. A lot of the people who are actually struggling are the people who have our friends who actually have to do the homeschooling because they're not used and they don't have the patient level of a teacher, so they struggle a lot with that. But a lot of the couples are actually doing, as far as we know, they're doing fine.
Everybody is doing well so far. You have people who say that they're struggling with it. There are people who perhaps were quarreling just before the self-isolation became a must for everybody. Now tell me, what advice do you have for people like that who are struggling? And I'm saying this to you guys. I'll start with you, Gary and Alpha. For people who are struggling right now with coping, being together, that perhaps are quarreling and don't know how to resolve it yet, are probably not even talking to themselves at home. What should they do?
I think what they kind of should do is, to sit down themselves and to reflect on what they have and actually who they have in their lives, And that's the way, whatever, just to really kind of, to thank for their own blessings as such, like, that they have a wife. Okay, you may not be speaking, but in, say, the emergency situation, she or he will always be there for you. So really just kind of reflect on that, but also reflect on what really are the arguments that you're having. And like, are they very relevant to the situation you're in now, where like it is really life and death? That's my advice to anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to reflect.
Alpha, you want to add something there?
No, I completely agree with what he said because that's exactly what we do. We did like set the goals together and then reflect on the relationship that you're actually having, and then the strategy to come out after the COVID-19. Set the goals and get the goals together, and having a clear communication is also crucial because sometimes the difference between the two people are actually very small. It's not something that is actually that huge. It's just that sometimes with the mood, with the heat, and then with the situations, the isolations, it's just making it big, while in reality it's actually very small and not so important. So yeah.
There
Very
is
good.
one,
Thank you for
yeah.
sharing that. Yeah, go on, Gary. Go on, Gary. You're going
There's
to say
another
something.
thing as well, just to say to everybody is, to set aside maybe 5 minutes in a day. Okay, if you're not even speaking to your wife or husband, even just to sit there and to, ask them how their day was. If they don't want to answer you, that's fine. But to show, the other person that you are still there and that you care about them. And also, like, if you were on speaking terms, like to ask, the wife or the husband, what are you grateful for today? Like, it may be a small little thing, but, it'll bring you together, like in a conversation about your life, what's happening around you. So actually, it's going to
Wow.
bring it all together. So,
I like that. To
yeah,
ask yourself,
my help.
what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful one. So I'm going to throw that at both of you. Gary, what are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? Well, I'm
Yes.
grateful for a loving wife, that we get on. We have similar interests, we have our similar humor. And like, we have been through things in the past, like, and we've got through them, and that's it. And, it is a cliche to say that, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But it
Yeah.
is very true. You get through things together.
Wow. And Elsa, what are you grateful for?
Well, I am very grateful that the two of us are actually very healthy and we have a roof over our heads, so then we could actually, well, living good few days in an isolation, so then the isolation is not so bad.
Very good. Very good. So, thank you very much, both of you. I'm going to come to Yemi and Tolu now, and I would love you to share with us what you're both grateful for. What are you grateful for? I'll start with you, Yemi.
That's it first. Okay. Actually, I'm grateful for life. Uh, I'm grateful for a loving and doting wife. And
Well done. Well
yes,
done, Tolu.
I'm grateful for healthy and brilliant children.
Oh.
I'm also grateful for the fact that God listens to my wife, possibly
He
faster
doesn't
than
listen,
me.
doesn't he listen to you?
No, he listens to her faster than me, and
Why? Why is
I don't
that?
want to accuse him of being partial, but it's okay. Um, it helps the family really. The seriously, the present situation tells one how ephemeral life can be.
Mm, mm,
It does. And when you were asking the question about couples who probably do not speak or who are ever quarreling and all that, I think just as our friends over there just said, just take a pause and look at life. There's such a very thin line between here and the other end.
mm,
Very, very thin line. And just a little push, you are the other end.
mm.
So why not enjoy every second that you're giving here? Why not? Why not just why not just why not just see that, like, we are both here in this space. Make the best use of the space that we have.
Mm,
Understand? And those who are probably losing their lives as a result of this are not necessarily it's not because they are not as smart as we are. It's
mm,
not because they are evil. It's just that there is a situation at hand now that is probably beyond human comprehension.
mm.
And all the best is being done scientifically to put an end to this, and of course with lots and lots of prayers and all that. So if you check my Facebook page, I made a bit light of the situation when I said I know there are men that bully their wives,
Mm.
and I know there are women that bully their husbands as well.
That's right. That's
True,
right.
Right
true.
now, because you are not able to go all those places you would love to, because you are not able to get put on your shoes and you are gone. Some probably gone for days. You want to bully the person that is sharing that space with you right now. You want
Mm.
to unleash that anger. I'll tell you, it's blissful for me right now. I wish it wasn't as a result of Corona. I wish it was for some other more pleasant reasons. I would have requested that it should be extended.
Yeah.
Seriously, yes.
Well,
But
I suppose we're really now making the best of the situation. We're ensuring that we really enjoy the time together, as family, not just as couple, but as family. And
yes, it is.
the kids, here is one thing that I've realized, and I tell people this all the time. Val and I tell people this all the time. The kids are watching. For couples that have children, the kids are watching. Whether they're older and they're away,
You remember?
they they would remember the things that they'd
They will.
seen while they were younger, and even now they will feel it being away. I mean, Mike, when we talk to our kids, they can tell when we're in the room together and we have the phone. They can tell what the temperature is like in the room,
Mm.
and sometimes they go, "Where's your husband?" And I'm like, he's right here. Can we talk to him? No, call him on his phone. They're like, are you angry at him? They know. I'm like, yes, right now he's in quarantine. He needs to go and purge himself or something. They know.
True.
So these
That's
are the
true.
things that we need to be mindful of. And
Yemi,
Val, I
Yemi,
would,
sorry,
yes,
sorry, Yemi. You know one thing. I said something earlier today.
yeah,
When we hear that, say, a top government official is
yeah,
under house arrest,
yes.
a number of people will say, "Olomo,"
Hmm,
right? They say "Olomo," but now
Mhm.
this is another version of house arrest. But it's a blissful
yeah,
one. It is a blissful one. But she's here to
yeah,
tell you what she's grateful for. I want you to hear that.
yeah. So I want to hear, tell us, Tolu, what are you grateful for?
Oh, Yemi, I'm grateful for life. Life is a
Oh,
gift. It's a gift. And when you have good people around you, that's
hmm,
also a gift. So whether
hmm,
it's family, whether it's children, whether it's friends, neighbor, it's a gift.
yeah,
Um, I never take those things for granted because
hmm,
everything is a gift. And when you have it, don't don't take it for granted. What I like to tell people is you can either see the glass as half full or half empty.
hmm. Wow.
Life is not that hard. Forgive that person. It's not that bad. Life, don't take life
Hmm,
too seriously. Just
hmm.
use this opportunity to press F5 and start all over again.
I like that. S5. Delete
Yes, just
and
refresh
start
it
again.
and start again. Okay,
Wow,
I'm
I like
wiping
that.
it off. Let's do something. Let's go on. And if it's your husband and you're not talking to him, like Gary said, whatever it is, I'm sorry. Can we start all over again? You have like 2 weeks to see if you can fix it.
Hmm.
Fix it.
This is
Just
a
fix
big
it.
one. This is a big one you've really mentioned because people talk about the struggles that couples have to say, I'm sorry. That most times people, so I think let's see if we can actually still link up. I know the Adeusis are still trying to link us up here. The network has not been so great at the end, but we have them back on. Let's see if we can link them on. Can you hear me, Mr. and Mrs. Adeusi?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic.
Oh, very
Finally, we
good.
have you. Thank goodness. Very good. So we have you here. Now, tell us, both of you, you're in Abuja, in Nigeria. What's the isolation like for you?
All right. Good evening, everyone. In Abuja, there has not been a lockdown of the city yet, so we are still allowed
Really?
to move around. And for us, Okay, and for us, being business owners, we have our own time. So for now, for the past, say, 1 week, we've been working from home. If we had to go out, we can go and then move around. Just yesterday, the minister gave a press release of about shutting schools in the FCT, and also asking civil servants from level 1 to 12 to work from home so as to reduce the number of people out there on the streets.
Wow. So, but you've been hearing the stories all around the world, all around the globe, of cities shutting down and countries shutting down.
Yes,
What does that feel like for you? Does that sound scary for you guys, as you're not on lockdown yet?
of course, it sounds scary because if you're on total lockdown, then you need to think of how do you get food to buy if you run out of
Mm,
supplies. And for some who can afford to stockpile, there are some who work daily and they eat from what they make daily. So you think of those
mhm.
people. How are they going to sustain themselves if we are on total lockdown? So it sounds scary. We've seen what's happening in Italy. We've seen what's happening in other areas where they have lockdown at the moment.
That's the big challenge for most African countries, isn't it? That a lot of people get and Val and I were having this conversation yesterday about what it is like for people in Africa, a country like Nigeria and some other African countries, that people spend what they earn on a daily basis, especially the entrepreneurs, the market women who go to the market every day, buy fresh leaves, those who sell the vegetables. They have to buy every single day, go to the market, retail, and it's what they earn on a daily basis that they spend, and that's how they feed. And this is going to be a big challenge for them. And the concern is that the government perhaps does not have measures in place to support people in those areas. Can you still hear me? Okay, I think we've literally lost them there. Okay, we'll try and reconnect them again. Val, this was something we were talking about yesterday about how those countries are going to struggle. People who are especially working on a daily basis, how they're going to struggle to survive during the lockdown, and there are no measures in place for them.
Yeah, I really want to commend Lagos State government for the partial shutdown. It's not total lockdown yet, but Lagos State is leading in this campaign of stay at home and everything. But then I really wish that they could go a little further than that and consider those people that are going to shut down, that are business owners. How I wish there's a way that the state government, at least, even if it's only Lagos State, if the state government can be able to reach out to people whose businesses will collapse or will not exist anymore at the end of this thing, because their business only survives when they are going out there every day. But now they have been asked to sit down at home because they are not they are not food sellers, they are not pharmacists, they are not medical and health officers. So their own businesses do not run in that line, and they will have to sit at home now. And at some point, they will exhaust whatever resources they have, financial resources. I just hope that the state government, who has been doing so well to handle this situation. I mean, Lagos State is leading from what I read from the report. For example,
yes,
look at that Bakayari that tested positive in Abuja. It's going to be taken to Lagos State to be looked after. So, which means the Lagos State is leading. They have the resources. So, I really wish that Lagos State would find a way to at least reach out to the people, the less privileged and the business owners that will suffer in this, at this time. I really would love to see that.
Thank you so much. So we're going to take a few comments, right? People have been sending in their comments, and I found a number of them quite interesting. We've been able to just show some of the comments, but there are a few questions in there, and there's some that perhaps you guys want to respond to as well. So I'll take one here from Joanna. Joanna says, let me see if I can highlight Joanna's comment. She said, it's hard to have time for yourself because hobby is here, looking for what to eat, and the kids are also around. It's overwhelming. guys, do you want to? Does anybody want to respond to that? That you've got the hobby there. He wants you to look after the cooking. You have to do homeschooling. It's quite overwhelming for a couple of people. What do you think? What advice do you have for people? Val, you want to kick that off?
I actually want to say something about that. I think in this age and time, we have gone past that time when a hobby would be here, sitting down, waiting for a wife to cook, and the children would be running around, and the wife also that will be checking them and will be looking after their home. We have gone past that stage, if you ask me. At this time, we're in a time where husband should be enjoying the wife, and the wife should also be enjoying the presence of the husband, not being scared that my husband is around, so everything will be on me. I cannot have my time. I mean, why can't you cook? The husband, why can't you cook? If you're not cooking, why can't you look after the children? If you're not looking after the children, why can't you look after the wife, the mother of the children? At least so that this time the woman can be able to look back and say, oh, I really thank God that my husband
was looking after me and he was here.
Yeah, that's the age we are now.
Gary, do you cook?
I do cook, yeah, I can cook, yeah. But
Alpha, does he cook for you? Does he cook for you?
Well, he does cook, but since I'm coming from the part of the work where I use a lot of spices, I would prefer to cook my own food with tons of spices.
You have to teach him how to use the spices then.
It takes time. Yeah, but yeah.
Taking time, yeah.
I have to come over to enjoy those spices.
Oh, you have to, definitely, yeah. You both have to come over, yeah.
Yeah.
Yemi, do you cook?
Sorry?
Is that a question for me?
Yes. Do you cook?
Who, me?
No, Yemi.
He can make his own breakfast.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Let me put it this way.
Okay.
I used to be a fantastic chef.
You used to.
I'm getting somewhere.
What happened?
I used to be a fantastic chef. Then I got married. And somebody took over. Seriously, somebody took over. And I guess she's always wanted all the space she can get to herself in the kitchen. I fixed my breakfast. That's a tough question. Don't let me answer your question. He's being truthful.
Yes, he can fix his own breakfast, but truly, I just think it's time to help each other. Just help each other. It's if she's cooking, do the laundry. Take care of the children while she's doing something. It's your home. It belongs to the two of you. So you're not helping her, you're fixing your home. Just think about it that way. It's like if there's a task in your office, everybody brings something to the table.
Yes.
Yeah, Tolu,
so face it that
what
way.
Somebody said? A friend was, his friend was washing dishes in the kitchen, and he went to his friend and said, oh, well done. You are doing well. Oh, you're a nice man. You help your wife. And he looked at his friend and said, I'm not helping my wife. I'm doing my job. This is
exactly.
my
It's his home.
So I'm not, you see, because in Africa we have this arrogant, people say ego, I say it's arrogance. We believe that no, some works are for the women, and there's only men that do some things. And that is how some men will just die unnecessary death. They think they should be the one bringing in all the money. The wife should be the one doing the work at home.
Exactly. You just kill yourself.
Intelligent woman that can bring in the money. Don't think, oh, I am the man, I must bring
exactly
in all the money. And then you think, oh, she's the one that should do all the washing and everything. Yeah, if you can afford to take the washing somewhere else, that's fine. But what I'm saying in essence is, if you are left with the washing, do it gladly. You are doing your job. It's your home. If anybody comes around and say, oh, as big as you are, look at the person and tell the person, you don't even know how big I am. I am as big as to make things easy for my wife. That's
exactly.
That's how big you are.
And Val, I think it's time for more African men to show it even when people are there. Don't be ashamed to say, I do fix my laundry. Encourage more people to do it.
Tolu, if you guys come here and you need to eat pounded yam, then you will see that. I don't allow my wife to pound because I don't want somebody developing muscles and will grab me in the leg and beat the hell out of me. So let me pound the yam and develop the muscle.
Exactly.
Yeah, you see, that is just on a very light side. But you see, like you said, people should be able to show examples. Do it. Don't care whoever is watching. If you are comfortable to do it, just go ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to take another comment here. This comment is from Tosi, and she says, please kindly make good this time. Let me highlight this comment. It says, kindly make good this time. Kindly make good of this time. People call it isolation. I call it family timeout. And seriously, I'm making good of the time. That is so, so true. Gary, what do you think? What do you think? That is such a true statement.
It is a very true statement. I think for everybody who's in this situation, you really kind of are grateful for the person in your life, for your wife or your husband. And yeah, no, actually you do make time for each other, and you are more considerate because of the situation that we're in, so that's it.
I joke around with him. I told him that, all right, if we can't solve anything in this marriage, there's no, how do you call that, marriage counselor available because of the COVID-19. So everything has to be resolved between the two of us. So yeah, and I think it's a great time. It brings a lot of our positive side in terms of supporting each other. Like he made breakfast for me for the first time ever. Breakfast in bed, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Very good, Gary. Good man yourself.
It was never in bed. It was always on the dining table. So that was the first times. But Corona definitely brings family closer. So we can feel it that we're actually way closer together, physically and psychologically.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
And I want to recommend, as a marriage mentor and marriage counselor, I want to recommend, just like Pastor Kukwala there said, that husband and wife, you should make good of this time. If there is anything at all, sit down and use this opportunity to sort some things out. You have been forced to stay together. Enjoy it. And if there's anything that's not going to make you enjoy it, please find a way to remove those things. Like Elsa, you said there's no marriage counselor. Well, there's no marriage counselor on the phone, on the internet. People are still reaching out to me.
Online,
people are still, they're still getting across to me, and they're still getting help. Yeah, but again, it is good that you have made up your mind that you are going to make this work, even without a marriage counselor. Because let me tell you, at this point, there is no magic that any marriage counselor can perform if you yourself are not ready.
Absolutely.
So you are the magic. You are the credit for the marriage counselors. Every marriage I've been able to help, I say to them, I was able to because you allowed it.
Thank you so much.
That's actually very true.
Before you guys go, I want to read a comment here from Pat. And Pat is writing this comment from Ireland, which is quite interesting. Pat says, God bless Mama Africa and every country in it. We Irish people are complaining about nothing on isolation, which is so easy to manage. God bless all and keep us all safe and happy. Keep us all safe. Great show today, Yemi Adenuga. So Pat is saying there that we Irish we're so great at complaining, and we're complaining about the isolation as well. Gary, is that true? Do we complain too much as Irish people?
I think we do. Yes, I agree. I think actually we complain way too much. I think we're quite negative as a race of people. And that's really it. I think we do. Sure, if there's nothing to complain, sure Irish people will complain about it.
Tell me, Gary, how can we change our attitude as Irish people not to complain? I mean, I went out today. I wanted to have, I try and sweep around and see what things are like.
Yeah.
And first of all, I was very happy to see that most of the shops, I mean, they have on the floor the demarcation. People can only go a certain distance. I was very delighted to see that. I was delighted to see that people themselves were actually maintaining the social distancing, which is great. Now, the one thing that I kind of struggled with was seeing people still looking funny at other people, and if they had the chance to complain about it, if they could come close, they would do it and they would complain about it. But social distancing did not allow them to come close enough to complain. So how can we change and become a bit more positive? I always say, if you're saying that it's raining, we should be grateful that we're 6 feet above, not 6 feet under. So how can we change our attitude? What should we do as Irish people?
I think what we need to do, and it starts down with our children in school, like, to accept everybody, to accept diversity, within, our community. Everybody's different, but then, like, everybody brings, something to the fabric of society, and that's it, like, and complain about little things, but I just think in general, Irish people do, and it may be down to the history in Ireland, but that's not acceptable either. I think, going forward, I think after this COVID-19 is over, I think a lot of people will be very grateful for their families, the situations they're in, and really, reflect. And I think COVID-19 has helped really, to bring people together in communities where you mightn't have spoken to a neighbour, before, or somebody at a local shop, or even volunteered in the area before. But now we have a situation where people are in need. So I think kind of like COVID-19 is really going to help in that respect. So then people will have less, to complain about.
Yeah. At the same time, there's I'm not sure if you're familiar with the choice theory, that people have the choice. At the end of the day, there is a choice that we could actually make as an adult, whether you're actually going to be grateful for everything that we're actually having in life, or you're going to be complaining. But at the same time, it is a human nature to feel that it is actually not enough, that it is actually not perfect enough, so then we're actually complaining. But complain doesn't change anything. But it's all coming from the individuals that will have to actually consciously making that decisions. I am choosing not to complain, and I am choosing to actually be grateful with what I am having.
It is a choice. And this is the time when we have to start thinking and reviewing the choices that we make as couples, to stay together and work things out together and make sure that we're doing things right together. I want to begin to say a big thank you to you all for being a part of our show today. I want to go to Mr. and Mrs. Adewusi in Abuja. It's just, I wish we'd had more of you. The network was just not the best today, connecting with you in Abuja. But I'm so grateful that you were both still connecting every which way and coming back in. I want to have a last word from you just for 1 minute. I wanted to share with people, Mr. and Mrs. Adewusi, what you think people should do to make sure that they use this time of self-isolation to bond even more. What's your word for people in 1 minute? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can. Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
We would want to advise. Yes, ma'am. We would want to advise people to. Uh,
We're struggling with the network again, but thank you guys. I really, really appreciate you making the effort to be a part of the show today. We're going to be wrapping up now. I want to take one last few words from everybody who's been here. Gary, Elsa, your last words in 1 minute. What final word do we have for couples out there today?
I think we all need to be grateful for the person in our life, for the wife, the husband, and really kind of reflect and say to each other, what if it happens that one day, you know, in the future, that my husband or spouse or my wife would not be there? How would I be able to do things in the house?
Yeah, no, that summarizes everything.
So that's it. Really, just give advice that, like, you know, one day, and we don't know with what is happening, COVID-19, that a husband or wife might get infected, you know, and she or he won't be able to do what they normally do in the house.
Wow.
So in relation to money or whatever, it's normally, you know, the man or the woman would look after it, but maybe the wife or the husband should learn how to do that skill. And, you know, vice versa in the house. You know, if a man isn't able to do something, if he's not able to cook, maybe show him how to do it
Absolutely.
in case something
Thank you
happens,
so much,
you know,
Gary. Thank you.
and vice versa.
Thank you guys for
Okay.
joining me on the show, and I really
Thank you
appreciate
for having
today.
us.
Thank you
God
very
bless
much.
you. I want to take Yemi and Tolu on a final note. What final words do you have for couples to try and stay together and make things work this season? A final word from you both.
I'll give that to Tolu. Okay.
My final advice, our final advice will be, if we have to fight this COVID-19, we need to do it together. So families, please stay together. We're stronger together. We can do this. We can do this. That will be our final word.
I'm going to take a final word from you as well. What final word do you have for people?
Well, my final word would be that couple, whether you are quarreling, whether you are on good terms, whether everything is rosy, this evening after this show, find time to sit down in front of each other, look into each other's eyes, and say to each other, this COVID-19 is going to make us better.
This is going to make us better. That's amazing. Yes, there was this one last word in 30 seconds. I still really want to take you guys. One last word in 30 seconds for people.
Okay, for this COVID-19, we advise couples to stay stronger together, pray together, and bond together and discuss issues together.
And above all, let's wash our hands. Let's keep social distancing as we've been advised.
Those are great words of advice. Thank you very much. As we wrap up today's show, I want to say thank you to everybody for being with me on Sharing with Yemi. I'll take one or two quick comments. Joanna says we need another men's retreat. That's something we'll have to think about. Princess Adiola says if Lagos can lead the way, all other states would follow concerning providing for their people. Faith says, good tips today. Thank you so much. KB is talking about the need for food banks to be available for people. So many wonderful comments here. Thank you all so much for putting your comments in. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you take this time. On a final note from myself, this is a period where we need to be grateful for what we have. Most people will give an arm and a leg to have the opportunity to be in your position that you perhaps don't even see the value of. If you're not talking, this is the time to take the opportunity to resolve whatever the issues are. Think about it this way. If it was just two of you in the world, would you always turn your back against yourselves? Perhaps not. So I ask you to consciously, deliberately decide to work things out together. And no better time to do it than now. Thank you all so much for joining me and sharing with Yemi. And I'm going to leave you with this beautiful, beautiful song. I hope you enjoy it. It made my day. I hope it makes yours.